Oh, yeah, I didn't mean to say that we get rid of the lockbox.
Right,
Absolutely.
yeah, I think you still need a lockbox. Lock it.
Okay, we need to do that then.
So we're going to buy a new thermostat for the back of the building.
We're going to buy a new
Agreed.
thermostat, we're going to buy a new key, a new lock.
For both of them.
Okay.
And a timer.
Well, that would be under the thermostat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need a timer.
You don't need one, Barbara.
You don't
It
need a
automatically, if you wanted to go on at 5 o'clock in the morning, you can set it to go to that temp.
It's a
and
programmable
then
programmable one.
thermostat,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
It was
Why,
like $70.
I'm just out of curiosity, why can't we get one for this half of the building?
This particular machine won't do it. That's what the electrician had said. What was his, I forget his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank.
Frank said it's commercial and that's just what you have and that's all you can do.
Okay.
There is no thermostat available for this particular,
I think it had something to do with the brand name.
yeah, something, I don't know.
So then we have to just get...
This has to be done manually, so whoever closes at night for us puts it on 82. Whoever comes in here in the morning, Steve, or whoever's the first one in here, puts it on 76 or whatever you want it set at.
And what is the comfortable temperature for daytime?
Anybody have any suggestion what a comfortable daytime temperature is?
Why does it have to be on during the winter?
I don't think it should have to during the winter.
Well, it should be automatic
No,
anyway.
If it's on a thermostat,
It won't come on.
regulated
It won't
terms,
come
it
on
won't
anyway.
go on unless it's necessary. So if it's cool outside, it'll stay cooler in here, so it won't go on.
It also serves as a dehumidifier for the building too.
I mean, some days you can open the doors and
Yeah.
get the air in here.
Which would be good.
Yeah.
But see, it's not running now, so when it reaches its temperature, it shuts off. So it's what you feel comfortable sitting here in. Do you want it at 80? Do you want it at 78? Do you want it at 76? This is your place. You decide whatever you just want.
Those people who use it most, Stitch and Bitch.
I keep my house at 78, but a lot of people keep it at 76.
Keep mine at 77.
Right.
So
No,
you're
for
right in the
77.
middle.
78.
Well, now, let me ask you a question. If we set it during the day for 77, okay, right in between, and it's nice out and you open the doors, will it not come on, or will it come on, or what?
As long as the
There it's on
temperature
now.
outside is less than 77,
Yeah.
it won't go on. But if it's 80 degrees out, you're going to burn up air conditioning.
So you can't have the doors
No,
open
no.
at all?
No, it's the same as your home.
Yeah. Well, but we get such a breeze, we do have the doors open
Yeah.
at 70.
Yeah.
When it's 80 outside, we have the doors open.
Steve could do
And a
that.
lot of the doors don't open.
No, they're hard to open
Yeah.
even.
I think we're
All
gonna
right,
have to
so anyway,
invest in
that's
those sliding
77,
doors.
so if it's set at 77 during the day and 82 at night, that's acceptable to most people?
I think so. Even 84.
Try
Yes,
it.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
or not, yes or no? Yes,
I
okay.
mean, if it's too warm in here, all you would have to do is ask
Get
Steve,
Steve to,
you know,
right.
if you're here for Stitch and Bitch or cocktail hour or something, well, cocktail hour is not around, but if you walk in here at 3 o'clock and it's very warm, you ask him to please lower it, that's all.
Okay. All right, so that's set, then 77 and 82 at night. And have locks on them and get a new
Thermostat.
thermostat for the back one. Okay.
Okay, so, Margaret, resign notice.
I know we talked about the credit
Are you
cards.
supposed to?
Yeah, Margaret and I tried to get,
Oh, you
we
can
had
do credit
approved at the
cards.
last board meeting that we would get a corporate credit card rather than using personal credit card. We approved policies that said if we use personal credit cards, we would not go over $200 without having board approval. But we also said that if people recommended that we get a corporate credit card. Margaret and I spoke to the bank, we looked into it. They won't issue a corporate credit card unless one of those board members, gives our Social Security number and accepts financial responsibility for it. None of us felt comfortable doing that because of the turnover in staff, not staff, in board members. It just wasn't something that none of us wanted to do. So we're back to having no corporate credit card. We were going to do it because we thought it would offer us some protections. If we put down payment with a vendor, we can sometimes go to the bank to get help, or get a refund from the bank. We looked into getting a debit card instead, and the bank, she called the corporate office to find out if we would have the same kind of protections that we would have if we had just a regular credit card. And the answer she got was yes. but we said that we needed to come in and speak to her about it, and we haven't gotten that far. So we'll still looking into that, but none of us really want to take personal responsibility for the credit card.
Mike, that's not true. The debit cards, if you're the victim of fraud, and someone gets your debit credit card number, they wipe out your bank account, and there's no protection against
Yeah,
that.
that's what we thought.
In a credit card, if you're the victim of fraud, the credit card company protects you. Debit cards are the worst thing you can possibly use.
Yeah, well, that's not.
I mean, it gives total access to your checking account.
Yeah, my knowledge of it from the past is what goes along with what you just
And
said.
that's the truth.
But
If
the
she's
lady at
telling
the
you
bank,
anything else, that's crap.
the lady at the bank said that she called the corporate office, but we didn't
Don't put it in
her
writing
word.
if they'll guarantee it. They won't.
Yeah. So we don't have a
So
corporate credit
nothing's-
card yet. We're going to stick with our policy that said we can use personal credit cards and get reimbursed. We can't spend over $200 without our board members approving it.
Next to issues, we have to spend it.
Well, the staffing issue and the cleaning costs, I'd like to address that.
Right.
I just received now a copy of how much it would cost for the cleaning service to do Middle River Club. I would like to suggest that we don't have enough information for the board to make an informed decision about this, and that we do a 1-month go-ahead with this system, but we need more information. I was called 2 weeks ago on a Friday night, 2 weeks ago yesterday, and asked to provide a letter in writing that I would go along with having a cleaning service. I emailed back the next morning saying, as I've said many times over the past few months, because the cleaning service has been up for discussion since at least April that I'm aware of, maybe even longer. I said, I can't make an informed decision about whether to go with the cleaning service until I find out how much it's going to specifically cost Middle River Club. I've seen the contract, the work is broken out by River Shores and Middle River Club, but the price, up until just 15 minutes ago, was not shared with me. I also said we came up with a system at the July meeting for how we would reimburse River Shores for staffing expenses, which was based on 10 hours of maintenance, 5 hours of cleaning, and 2 hours of bookkeeping. The maintenance was broken up between 7 hours at Mike's rate of pay and 3 hours at Steve's rate of pay, because it was a vast difference in their rates of pay. So I don't know whether that was ever put in for August. So it was approved by the board, but it wasn't done. I don't know why. So now I just received notice that it would cost $254 for the cleaning service a month for Middle River Club. But we still don't know how much we're going to have to reimburse River Shores for Steve's time. We have to know those figures before we can make an informed decision. So I sent that email back with that information. 3 days later, Laverne got a call indicating that they were unable to get in touch with me, which was not the case because I emailed back the next morning and asked if she would vote for it. And she told them the same thing, that she can't make a decision unless we have all the information. And then a few days later, they approached Barbara. And I don't know if they told you that what Laverne and I had said.
No, I didn't discuss.
So it really wasn't a valid vote. A quorum is not only 3 people, but 3 people representing 2 condo associations. Jen?
Mike, I was in the office when we tried to get in touch with you, and we couldn't get in touch with you, okay? We called Laverne 10 minutes later. She said she would find out. She called us or emailed us back or called, I don't remember.
Called you back.
I'm sorry, what?
Called you back.
Right, okay. That she was uncomfortable with it. It was interesting because at one point she didn't know we couldn't get in touch with you. 10 minutes later she called back and said she was, so it wasn't days, it was 10
I
minutes
thought it was a
later.
couple days later you called me.
That I called you? No,
Was I one?
No.
Well, in any case,
It was the same day, right.
Laverne and I both felt the same way, that we weren't voting no on this, because it's probably, in the end, maybe a good idea, but we didn't want to make a decision without having more information. So again, now we have the amount of money it's going to cost for the cleaning service, but we need to know how much we're going to be charged for Steve's time. We're going to have to make some sort of an estimate of how much time he gives to Middle River Club. I think to try and get him to keep track of his hours here is
Well, Steve was
it's
always
almost
paid
impossible to
back.
do.
Steve was always paid back. It's just lately that he hadn't been paid back, okay? For his work at Middle River Club.
But we were paying Mike's price.
Yeah, we were paying.
Mike's price for
Paying Mike's salary.
Mike's salary for any work done for Middle River Club, and his salary was a lot less than Steve's salary. So Mike is gone, he's fired, so Steve, I guess, will be doing our maintenance, I'm not sure.
I think the reason why we paid Mike's
Maintenance,
salary
not
was was just a way
Not
for,
cleaning.
to get some kind of control on how much money we were spending. And
Well, just for some clarification, I heard everything you said. We've had a little problem because Rosa was cleaning Middle River Club and River Shores.
Right.
So she didn't want to check from Middle River Club. It only had to come back out of River Shores. So they were not going to do time sheets, Steve's time or whatever. So we're starting to eliminate this confusion because it has been very confusing, particularly for me, because they're not going to do it. So it's going to be up to the River Shores Board to come up with an amount of time, or for Steve to do some sort of, I'm here an hour a day, he's got to keep some sort of record, so nobody wants to overcharge Middle River Club. That's not the point of this exercise. It's just been a tough situation to deal with. So, you know, I'm guessing he's about $25 an hour roundabout with the workers' comp and the taxes and whatever. So that may be too much for the Middle River Club Board to want to pay somebody to come in and do whatever maintenance. So you may want to make a decision not to use Steve, because Steve has plenty to do, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Absolutely.
plenty to do, the projects the board is starting to come up with.
Yeah.
So it's not that his time won't be kept, occupied. It may be in the best interest for Middle River Club, and I'm suggesting this, to look into getting somebody maybe for $15 an hour, and, somebody retired who wants to fiddle and paint and whatever you need done over here, as opposed to using Steve's time. This way we can eliminate much confusion. So,
Well, like at $25 an hour, I think that would be a bit much for Middle River Club to pay for him to go pick up, from what I understand, you asked him to go pick up 4 Chase Lounges the other day.
No, he hasn't, we'll talk about that later, for purchase, not pick up, purchase.
well,
Yeah,
it's still his time.
To go
Yeah.
there.
If he has to come and open
Oh, yeah, I
this,
agree.
Right.
We don't
that's
want to
why
pay
I'm
somebody that
bringing it
kind of
up.
money
do you see?
power wash the thing. And that's why in the old system with 7 hours of Mike's time, 3 hours of, it made some sense.
Well,
As much sense as we can make. But
That's
now,
right.
As far as the cleaning service, again, I think that we should keep it going for a month. That's what I was recommending. While River Shores makes a recommendation of what they want in terms of reimbursement for Steve's time. And then we can make a decision.
well, there's 2 separate issues. One's the cleaning, which you're not going to get anybody cheaper than $254, including toilet paper. I'm telling you that right now. And then Steve's time. So why not, instead of waiting for River Shores to come up with the solution, are you willing to pay the $25 an hour? Because right now he's not being charged at all, because I don't know what to do.
Yeah, what is it?
So why don't you all come up, do you think $15 an hour for what needs to be done here is appropriate, or do you think Steve is appropriate?
No, you're not talking about the cleaning, are you?
No,
Maintenance.
no, just
Maintenance
maintenance.
only.
There's
Right.
2 separate issues, so let's keep the maintenance
Right,
issue, so I
okay.
know what to do.
Can I ask a question? Are the cleaning people doing the power washing?
Bill, was that part of their thing, was that a maintenance thing?
I think that's a maintenance.
I think you're right. No, the power washing would be a maintenance thing.
So what we need to do is sit down and find out which things Steve does for us now.
Yeah, and maybe talk to the cleaning people and see what they would do.
Well, you already got a copy of that contract, what the cleaning is and what their responsibilities for cleaning here is. Is that correct? You did say that before.
I saw a copy of
Okay.
the one of
So,
April or something.
I didn't figure that money out. The owner, I says, please break it out so we know what to charge back. So that's set for now. You want to wait a month? Fine. It can always, the cleaning guy, again, will use the toilet paper over there in those bathrooms, whatever. It doesn't matter. So the issue which you should decide now is what to do about Steve. So I know what to do about him. And then, she's on the board of River Shores. So we can kind of move forward with this. You're not being charged for Steve now because, again, nobody wants to take more money out of Middle River Club than necessary. It's just that we're all kind of...
Well, I think we need some time to talk
Right,
about it.
okay.
Look and weigh some alternatives. In the meantime, we could pay,
Right.
maybe 3 hours a week for Steve? I mean,
Are you
that
willing
works.
to do that at $25 an hour?
I think that's Mike, the question that you need to address is the question of the dollar amount per